The sound of footsteps echoed across the marble lobby of Harrison Industries, one of the most prestigious tech companies in downtown Seattle. It was nearly 7 a.m., and the building was still half asleep, except for Maya Johnson, the janitor on the early shift. At 28, Maya had grown used to the quiet mornings. She loved them, actually. The calm before the chaos, the smell of fresh polish on the floors, and the hum of the city waking up outside. Life hadn't been easy for her, but she took pride in what she did. After losing her mother 2 years earlier and putting her dreams of finishing college on hold, this job was her anchor. She pushed her cleaning cart toward the main lobby's glass doors, humming softly to a tune she didn't even realize she was humming. At the same time, a tall man in a dark suit walked into the building from the private elevator. No security, no entourage. His name was Ethan Walker, 28 years old, founder and CEO of Harrison Industries. Most people in the company never saw him in person. He preferred to keep a low profile, especially in his own building. He hated how people changed when they knew who he was, how they smiled differently, spoke carefully, or tried too hard. That morning, he wasn't in the mood for meetings. He needed to think, away from the boardroom, away from numbers. He had pulled on a hoodie and jeans instead of his usual tailored suit, hoping to go unnoticed. But fate had other plans. As he walked across the lobby, lost in thought, a soft voice said, "Watch out!" Too late. Ethan bumped into Maya's cart, sending a full cup of coffee flying onto his shirt. A dark stain spread quickly across the gray fabric. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry!" Maya gasped, rushing to grab napkins from her cart. "I didn't see you. I should have." Ethan laughed lightly, holding up his hands. No, it's my fault. I wasn't looking." Maya frowned, blotting at the stain with gentle hands. "Still, you're gonna smell like a coffee shop all day." He smiled, watching her, the way her brows furrowed in genuine concern, the way she didn't seem intimidated at all. "That doesn't sound so bad," he said. "I like coffee." That made her laugh, and for a moment, the lobby didn't feel so big and empty anymore. "Well," she said finally, standing straight, "at least it's not hot enough to burn. You're lucky." Ethan grinned. "I'll keep that in mind next time I walk near a janitor cart." Her eyes narrowed playfully. "You're making fun of me already?" He chuckled. "Not at all. I just learned to respect the power of a mop bucket." Maya shook her head, smiling. "You'd be surprised how many people don't." He looked at her. Really looked. She wasn't wearing makeup, her uniform slightly oversized, her hair tied back. But there was something in her, an easy grace, a quiet confidence that made her stand out. She broke the silence first. "You work here too?" Ethan hesitated for half a second. "Yeah," he said finally, "something like that." "Let me guess, IT department?" she teased, pointing at his casual clothes. He smiled. "Close enough." "Well, whoever you are, I owe you a new shirt," she said, laughing again. "Nah," he replied softly. "You've already made my morning better." Before she could respond, the elevator doors opened, and Ethan stepped inside, giving her one last look before disappearing behind the closing doors. Maya stood there for a moment, still holding the napkins, wondering who that man was, and why he didn't seem like anyone she'd ever met in that building. What she didn't know was that she had just talked to the man whose name was written on every door in that skyscraper. And for the first time in years, Ethan Walker couldn't stop smiling. A week passed, but Maya couldn't get that morning out of her head. The clumsy coffee spill, the kind smile, and the mysterious man with the calm voice. Every time she mopped the lobby, she half expected to see him again, but he never came, until one Friday evening. She was finishing her shift, humming as usual, when the elevator opened. A familiar voice said behind her, "Careful, coffee zone ahead." Maya turned surprised. "You again?" Ethan grinned, holding 2 cups. "Thought I'd bring a peace offering. Latte or black?" She laughed, taking the latte. "You remembered? I said I like lattes." "I listen," he said simply. They sat together on a bench by the big glass windows, the Seattle skyline glowing in the dusk. The city lights reflected off the marble floors, 2 silhouettes, one in a janitor uniform, one in a plain hoodie. They talked about everything, music, books, dreams. Maya told him she once studied architecture before her mom got sick. Ethan didn't interrupt. He just listened, the way no one else ever did. When she asked about him, he hesitated. "I work with management," he said vaguely. She nodded, not pressing further. "Well, tell your boss they have a great company. Everyone here is polite. Ethan smiled. I'll pass that along. That became their quiet routine. Once or twice a week, Ethan would find a reason to work late, and Maya would take her break in the lobby. They'd sit and talk about everything that wasn't business. She told him about her dreams of finishing school. He told her about wanting to do something that mattered, something real. Neither admitted what they were beginning to feel. One night, as rain streaked down the windows, Maya looked at him and said softly, "You're different. I don't know why, but you don't seem like the people I meet here." Ethan's chest tightened. He wanted to tell her everything, that he owned the company, that the management he mentioned was actually him. But every time he imagined the look of shock or disappointment, he froze. He didn't want her to love Ethan Walker, Billionaire CEO. He wanted her to love the man who spilled coffee in her lobby. Still, the truth has its own timing. The following week, Harrison Industries held its annual Employee Appreciation Night, a formal event where the CEO would make an appearance. Maya almost didn't go. Janitors weren't required, but her supervisor insisted. "We all count, Maya. Come enjoy yourself." She borrowed a simple blue dress, the only one she owned, and arrived quietly near the back of the grand ballroom. Chandeliers sparkled overhead. A crowd of executives filled the room, and cameras flashed near the stage. Then the host announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our founder and CEO, Mr. Ethan Walker." The applause rose, and Maya froze. Her coffee nearly slipped from her hand as she saw him walk onto the stage. The same easy smile, the same calm eyes, but now wearing a sharp suit, shaking hands, she standing behind the microphone. Her world tilted. Ethan cleared his throat. "I'd like to say something a little personal tonight," he began. His gaze scanned the crowd and found her. "A few weeks ago, I met someone in this very building. Someone who reminded me that success isn't about titles or glass offices. It's about humanity, honesty, and how you make others feel seen." The room was silent. "She didn't know who I was," he continued, smiling gently. "And for the first time in years, that made me feel free." Maya's eyes glistened, her heart pounding. She wanted to disappear, and yet she couldn't look away. After the event, she tried to leave quietly, but Ethan was waiting near the exit. No cameras, no crowd, just him. "Maya," he said softly, stepping closer. "I should have told you. I was afraid you'd see me differently." She looked up, tears welling. "You lied to me." "I did," he admitted, "but not because I didn't care, because I cared too much. You treated me like a person, not a paycheck. No one's done that in years." She exhaled, shaking her head. "I don't care how much money you have, Ethan. I just wish you trusted me." He swallowed hard. "Then let me earn that trust now." For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Maya sighed, a small smile breaking through the storm. "You still owe me a new shirt," she said quietly. Ethan laughed, a genuine relieved laugh, and took her hand. "Deal." From that night on, their worlds stopped being divided by marble floors and glass walls. Ethan didn't need to hide who he was anymore, and Maya didn't need to apologize for who she wasn't. They didn't fall in love because of wealth or titles. They fell in love because, when the world was asleep, they found something rare. Two people who saw beyond what shined on the surface. And in that simple truth, their story found its end. Not with diamonds or fame, but with honesty, forgiveness, and a cup of coffee.